The millionaire cowboy walked past a poor woman, until a single word shattered his world. The woman in the cold. The wind cut through the small Texas town like a blade. It was late December in Dusty Creek, a place most people only passed through, never stayed. The buildings were old, the streets cracked, and the silence carried memories no one wanted to remember. Near the edge of Main Street, beside a closed-down diner, stood a woman wrapped in a thin, worn coat. Her hands were red from the cold. Her shoes had holes in the soles. Her name was Clara Bennett. But no one asked her name. To the town, she was invisible. Cars passed. Boots stepped by. Conversations continued. No one stopped. Clara didn't shout. She didn't cry. She simply stood there, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Just need food. God bless." Every breath hurt, but pride hurt more. Then the sound came. A low, powerful engine. A black luxury truck rolled into Dusty Creek, shining like it didn't belong. People turned. Heads lifted. Whispers spread. "He's here. That's him. The Carter Ranch owner." The truck stopped in front of the town bank. William Carter stepped out, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in an expensive coat and polished boots. His face was hard, shaped by years of control, success, and decisions that crushed weakness. A self-made millionaire, the most powerful rancher in 3 counties. William glanced around the town with no emotion. To him, this place was just business. Land papers, old debts, nothing more. As he walked toward the bank, Clara gathered what little courage she had left. "Sir," she said softly. He didn't hear her. She tried again, louder. "Sir, please." William stopped. Slowly, he turned. His eyes landed on her, and passed over her like she was nothing. "I'm busy," he said flatly. I haven't eaten in 2 days," Clara whispered. "Anything would help." William frowned. Not with anger, with annoyance. "I don't give money to beggars," he replied. "If you want help, go to a shelter." "There isn't one," she said. He sighed, pulled a bill from his pocket, then stopped himself. "No," he said, shaking his head. "This is how people stay poor." He turned and walked away. Clara's knees nearly gave out. She wasn't crying because she was hungry. She was crying because he didn't recognize her. A past buried in dust. William Carter didn't look back. If he had, he would have seen the way Clara clutched her coat, the same way she used to when she was younger, standing in the kitchen of the old Carter Ranch. Because years ago, Clara Bennett had lived on that ranch. Not as a beggar, but as family. 25 years earlier, the Carter Ranch was struggling. William's father had died, leaving behind debt, broken fences, and a 16-year-old son forced to become a man overnight. Clara's mother worked as the ranch cook. Clara helped clean, learned books, and dreamed of leaving Dusty Creek someday. And William, he was angry, proud, determined not to lose everything. When drought came, when money disappeared, when banks demanded payment, William made choices, cold ones. He fired workers, sold land, cut people loose, including Clara's family. No goodbye, no explanation. The same winter Clara's mother got sick. The same winter Clara learned what it meant to survive alone. And William Carter, he rose. The storm. That night, a brutal snowstorm swallowed Dusty Creek. The temperature dropped fast. Clara tried to find shelter behind the diner, but the wind was merciless. Her vision blurred. Her body trembled uncontrollably. Across town, William sat in his hotel room, staring at paperwork. But his mind wasn't on land or money. It was on the woman's eyes. They weren't desperate. They were familiar. A sudden guilt tightened his chest. Against his own logic, William stood, grabbed his coat, and went outside. Snow stung his face. Then he saw her, collapsed near the diner. "Hey," he shouted, rushing forward. "Miss." She didn't move. William dropped to his knees, lifting her carefully. Her lips were blue. "Stay with me," he said urgently. Her eyes opened just a crack, and she whispered one word. William. His blood ran cold. How do you know my name? He asked. A faint, broken smile touched her lips. You forgot me, she murmured. But I never forgot you. Between life and regret, the hospital lights buzzed softly above Clara Bennett's head. White walls, the smell of antiseptic, the quiet beeping of a heart monitor. She was alive, barely. William Carter stood a few feet away, his expensive coat folded over a chair. His hands were clenched so tightly his knuckles had turned white. The doctor stepped out of the room and lowered his voice. She has severe hypothermia and malnutrition, he said. Another hour in that storm, and you would have been planning a funeral. William swallowed hard. Will she live? She's strong, the doctor replied. But strength shouldn't be tested like this. When the doctor left, silence filled the room. William finally stepped closer to the bed. Clara's face looked smaller somehow. Fragile. Lines of struggle etched deep into her skin. Lines he knew, deep down, he had helped create. Her eyes fluttered open. She stared at the ceiling for a moment, then turned her head. And saw him. You came back, she said quietly. I did, William replied. I shouldn't have left. She smiled faintly. You always left. The words hit him harder than any accusation. How did you know my name? He asked again, softer now. Clara took a slow breath. I knew you before the money, she said. Before the suits. Before the power. His heart began to pound. What's your name? He asked, though something inside him already knew. She turned her eyes toward him. Clara Bennett. The room felt suddenly too small. The past came rushing back like a flood he had spent decades holding behind a dam. The girl from the ranch. Clara closed her eyes, her voice barely above a whisper. My mother cooked at your ranch. You used to sneak into the kitchen late at night when you were studying land records. William remembered. A tired woman with kind eyes. A shy girl who always stayed quiet, reading old books by the stove. You taught me how to ride, Clara continued. You said one day we'd both leave Dusty Creek. William felt sick. I was just a kid, he said. I didn't understand. You understood enough to fire us, she interrupted. Without warning, without explanation. Her voice wasn't angry. It was tired. My mother got sick that winter. We had no money, no place to go. She swallowed. She died 3 months later. William staggered back as if struck. I didn't know, he whispered. I know, Clara said. That's what hurts the most. Tears burned his eyes, but he didn't wipe them away. I built everything on survival, he said. I told myself I had no choice. And maybe you didn't, Clara replied. But choices still have consequences. The weight of $1 million. William paid every hospital bill. Private room. Best care. New clothes folded neatly by the bed. But Clara noticed something. You think money fixes guilt, she said one afternoon. He didn't deny it. It's all I know how to use. She shook her head slowly. I don't want your charity, William. Then what do you want? He asked desperately. She looked out the window. I want to matter. Those 3 words broke him. For the first time in his life, William Carter, the man who controlled land, people, and power, realized he had never learned how to make things right. Only how to win. A man returns changed. William returned to his ranch. Alone. The land stretched endlessly, beautiful and empty. He walked through the old kitchen, renovated, modernized, but the memories still lived there. That night, he couldn't sleep. Faces haunted him. Workers he fired. Families displaced. Lives broken quietly so his dream could survive. By morning, he made a decision that shocked his entire staff. He canceled meetings, postponed deals, closed his office, and drove back to Dusty Creek. An offer unlike the first. Clara was preparing to leave the hospital when he arrived. I found a small job, she said cautiously. Cleaning rooms. I'll manage. No, William said firmly. She stiffened. I won't be owned again. You won't be, he replied. You'll be respected. He handed her a folder. Inside were documents, a house deed, small, modest, near town, a salaried position, community outreach coordinator at Carter Ranch, and a handwritten letter, an apology, not typed, not legal, just honest. I can't undo the past, he said, but I refuse to profit from it anymore. Clara read silently. Tears fell onto the paper. This isn't forgiveness, she said. This is a beginning. He nodded. That's all I'm asking for. The ranch that changed. Months passed. Clara returned to the ranch, not as a servant, but as a leader. She started programs for struggling families. Education grants. Winter shelters. Workers noticed something strange. William listened now. He learned names. He apologized. And slowly, the ranch became something new. A place of second chances. Whispers of change. Change never arrives quietly. At first, people at the Carter Ranch whispered, "Why is he spending money on shelters? Why is that woman suddenly in meetings? Why does the boss listen now?" Clara heard the whispers but ignored them. She wasn't there to prove herself. She was there to build something that had never existed before. Every morning, she walked the ranch, speaking with workers, learning their stories. Families struggling with medical bills. Children unable to attend school. Men working 3 jobs just to survive. And William watched, not from above, from beside her. For the first time, he saw the cost of his success clearly, not in numbers, but in faces. The man who fought back. Not everyone welcomed the change. One afternoon, William's senior manager, Thomas Reed, confronted him. "You're ruining this business," Thomas snapped. "Charity weakens authority." William looked at him calmly. "Authority without humanity is tyranny," he replied. "You built this empire by being ruthless," Thomas said. "People respected you because they feared you." William stood. "No," he said firmly. "They feared me because I forgot who I was." Thomas left that day. So did several investors. William lost millions. For the first time in his life, he didn't care. The truth comes out. A local newspaper published a story. Millionaire rancher confronts his past after ignoring poor woman. Pictures spread. Opinions exploded. Some praised him. Others mocked him. Clara read the article quietly. "I didn't ask for this," she said. "I know," William replied. "But I deserve it." She looked at him closely. "You're not doing this for forgiveness," she said. "You're doing it because you finally understand." He nodded. "And because losing money hurts less than losing my soul." The winter that returned. A year later, winter came again. Snow fell over Dusty Creek, just like the night Clara nearly died. This time, things were different. The old diner was open again, funded by the ranch. A shelter stood where Clara once collapsed. And on Main Street, a sign read, "No one freezes here." Clara stood outside the shelter, watching families walk in. William joined her. "You saved this town," he said. She shook her head. "No," she replied. "You did. You just needed to remember how." The choice that defined him. That night, William received a call. A powerful corporation wanted to buy the ranch. The price was enormous. Enough to make him richer than ever. All they wanted was one thing. End the community programs. Remove Clara. Turn the land into profit. William didn't hesitate. He declined. The silence on the other end of the phone said everything. When he told Clara, she looked shocked. "You gave up everything," she said. He smiled softly. "No," he said, "I kept the only thing that matters." A quiet moment. Months later, William and Clara sat on the ranch porch as the sun set. "I used to think power meant never needing anyone," William said. "And now?" Clara asked. "Now I know it means protecting those who do." She looked at him. "Do you regret it?" she asked. "All of it," he answered honestly. "And none of it." She reached for his hand. Not as a favor, not as forgiveness, but as peace. The lesson. Years later, people told this story differently. Some said it was about a rich man and a poor woman. Others said it was about love. But the truth was simpler. It was about a man who walked past someone in need, and spent the rest of his life learning how to stop walking away. Because real wealth isn't what you own, it's who you refuse to abandon. Watch till the end for a life-changing lesson. Right finger like, comment and subscribe for more emotional Western stories.